Now on Bounce, and it's time for Ask Mama Mack. If you only heard what we talk about in commercial break, a segment we do every Tuesday night to discuss issues facing parents and children across the world.
We're talking about Black China and that cover she did.
Yeah, right.
So, Mama is here every week. Nice to see you.
Good to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff to talk
Let's
about
go
tonight.
ahead.
Our first topic is about a 7-year-old girl who got in trouble by her teacher for writing her name in cursive on her homework. A Kansas mom says her daughter got some harsh words from the teacher. The teacher wrote in red pen on the homework saying, quote, "Stop writing your name in cursive. You have had several warnings," end quote. A picture of the note was posted on Facebook with many commenters feeling outraged. So, Mama Mack, we want to know, was the teacher overreacting here?
I think a bit much. Is it because she didn't teach her how to write in cursive? Does she have a problem with that? This whole education thing is like crazy these days. We are forgetting the importance of schooling our children. That's for becoming adults.
Right.
You know, and cursive is part of being an adult. I mean, you have to sign appropriate papers in cursive. You can't do an X if you know how to write.
That's true.
Sorry, got a little southern there.
That's okay. It rears its head at the most.
When you get southern, kind of
Exactly.
when you're really
Just
upset.
a tad.
Yeah,
Just
because I know you were
education
talking about that in the
stuff.
commercial break, was another thing we're going to talk about here in a second, but you seem to get a little heated about that. I understand.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
All right.
This is the boat.
Do any of your kids write in cursive? You on the daycare center? Do they do stuff? Do you do cursive writing? Or do
No,
you just
I leave that for the school.
Okay.
But
They're
we'll
pretty young.
teach them how to print their name.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
that's the start.
Right.
Cursive should always, I feel like, be part of their curriculum. You know,
Yes.
not. Never mind.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to go there.
Well, back in my day, the rules have changed so much.
I
It's
know.
crazy. I grew up with cursive writing,
Yeah.
and I also grew up doing math problems on a sheet of paper. The kids now can use the calculator.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you know
Do you know
that.
how to, what is it? Carry the wand? You know, you got to be able to do that.
Yes. Yeah, but you know, if they
things have
ever
changed.
were without the calculator, the cell phone,
The world would end for them.
They might be up the creek, huh? Without a paddle.
Let me tell you.
The other topic we wanted to discuss with you tonight, Mom, is the fact that more and more hospitals are getting rid of nurseries. Traditionally, you know, babies go to the hospital's nurseries after they're born so that the mother and the baby can get some rest. But recently, many hospitals are doing away with the nurseries as what they are calling a baby-friendly initiative. Doctors are now telling new mothers, unless it is urgent, the baby will stay with them in their room. They think it is going to encourage moms to breastfeed and bond more with their new baby. So, Mama Mack, what do you think about this baby-friendly initiative?
I think if you're breastfeeding, it's a good idea to have your baby in the room with you. That way you don't have to worry about the baby being brought to you at a specific time, or you having to go down and say, I'd like for my baby or whatever to come to my room, or I want my baby to stay over in the room with me tonight and all this. Because back in the day, when you were born, we had to ask, you know, is it okay? You know, and they say, well, it depends on who's coming to visit you. And if you get a visitor, they would come get you. Because, you know, germs, people don't always wash their hands, and they're, you know, don't be touching my baby.
Right.
Mama was one of
And I
those.
know. No. Clean those hands, and you may proceed, but no.
You're a watchful eye.
Right. And I
Mom was
think
old
that
school.
the nursery is a good thing, but yet and still having your baby with you
It's a good thing.
is a very good thing.
You like it a lot. Bree,
But-
you like it a lot?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think that having the baby right there, and that's only going to prepare you for when you go home.
Yes,
and the
child.
baby is right there, and
Sure
there
that.
is no quote unquote nursery.
Nurse.
Right.
You know, you have to get accustomed to, you know, like I think a lot of new. My friends who are new moms have said, you know, there's that feeling when they leave the hospital. Oh, you're leaving the child with me? You're going to let the child go home with me? Because they've, you know, had that support. They've had the nursery. So I think the quicker you can get used to there not being a nursery, especially in those, you know, first moments, and then the bonding and that sort of thing that should take place.
And
you know, which will
actually
be
being
important.
a mommy. Really. I mean, that's...
Shade.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Mama Mack,
That's what it's all about.
We want your take on tonight's Sound Off Charlotte topic.
Okay.
You were commenting a little bit about it earlier. A student was given an in-school suspension for having hair that touches his collar last school year. Aaron Bonetti's mom says Queens Grant Community School administrators are discriminating against her son. Back in December, Jennifer Bonetti asked the school's board of directors to change the policy that doesn't allow boys to have long hair, but she was unsuccessful. Bonetti even got Aaron's hair trimmed, but was told it was still too long. Now the school board is looking into her concerns. So we want to know, Mama Mack, do you think long hair on male students is too distracting for other children? Is the school being petty with this?
I think it's a little petty because looking at the young man, his mother did make a conscious effort. She got him trimmed. She may not have come within the standards of what they're expecting, but he didn't look like... before I saw you showed me I thought his hair was like down to here and all scraggly, but he looked very neat,
presentable,
well-groomed.
I mean, well-groomed. I don't see what the problem is there.
Now, what do you say to many of our commenters tonight said that if you don't want to be under the rules, you read the rules, then you should leave and go to another school. You shouldn't sign with that school. What would you say to those people?
Well, I would say that she did make a conscious effort to come within, somewhat. It's not like she totally just barred, like, I'm not going to do this at all. She made a conscious effort. She also wanted to get them to change. I think they're all missing the boat here. It's about education. Granted, we have a way that we need to look when we go into workforce and all that stuff. That comes, it's just really petty for a child. How old is this child?
I'm elementary school age, Amanda.
So, I mean, I do believe in train up a child in the way that he should go.
Third grade.
But to me, saying, well, you should go to another school, maybe she can't, all the other schools are not what she's looking for. And she picked this school because of other things and not necessarily, quote unquote, rules and regulations, which I think is a bit over the top because she did get her son's hair trimmed, but he's touching his collar.
Right. It's a bit much.
Yeah.
Please.
We're going to share a few more comments here from the BTV page. Tilly Watson, the length of the hair is a personal decision. They need to stay in their lane. If he's offensive, then the next child dealing with an illness with no hair would be considered offensive to others. Stay in your lane. Rebecca Sheldon saying the schools are being petty. Nothing wrong with a young man having long hair. A child goes to school to learn an education, not to be told that individualism is wrong. A few more here. If it's that long hair on a boy is too feminine, then any female student with a pixie cut or really short hair should be punished for masculine haircuts. Jade saying there is a dress code. She was aware of it. If they can't follow the rules, then she should change schools. That's what's wrong with America now. They're either offended or whine because they don't get their way. Renee Smith saying when you register at a private school, you agree to follow the rules. They tell you up front the accepted length of hair, skirt length, etc. If you didn't intend to follow the rules, go elsewhere. Connie saying, as a hairstylist for over 30 years now, I've had to cut many boys' hair for the school rules. Do I think that their hair length has anything to do with them learning? Of course not. However, as the parent who got her boy into the school, you must set the example to your child and follow the rules, period. All schools and most businesses have dress codes. Just abide by them. It's called respect. So there you have it.
A lot of comments.
A lot of comments. Gosh, some 164. It's probably more than that now because I haven't refreshed the page.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mama Mack, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure having you
Appreciate
here
it.
on the show. Every Tuesday you can catch Mama Mack. She comes in and drops a little knowledge on you. How about that?
Oh, boo. I don't know about that, but we try.
We'll be right back.